Hi there, Melissa. My name's Daoud Miracle. I'm with Doing Good Branding and Web Design Agency. And you spoke with Jasmine, and she mentioned that you wanted us to prepare a video review of your website. So that's what I'm going to do. I will warn you that I'll tend to talk a little fast. The reason for that is I want to get as much information in your hands as I can with as little time as possible so that we don't take much of your time up. So I'm just going to jump right in. As you can see, this is a specific review of your website. It's custom to you guys. There's nothing canned here. Um, so again, let's just start. So the first thing I noticed at the top here, this is going to be confusing to your audience. What phone number do I call? I understand that that you're in two separate states. Like technically, maybe you're in three separate states with a couple of South Carolina offices. Um, but we need to pare this down to one phone number or not have a specific phone number at the top of the page. Another thing to think about is that any phone numbers that you have throughout your site, whether it's here, whether it's here, whether it's on your locations page, wherever it is you want your phone numbers to be clickable or tappable on a mobile device so that people can literally tap the phone number and have their phone call you rather than have to take their finger and highlight the text to hopefully get it correct and then copy it and then move to their phone app, and you get the idea. It's really tedious and it's not very difficult to do today. So making your phone numbers so that people can tap them on their mobile phones is pretty critical. Another thing is we talk about branding. Now I'm not going to talk about logos and colors and fonts and all that stuff today. There's more to do there than we can cover in a quick little video. But what I am going to cover is we look at 6 pillars of branding. 2 of those are how do you differentiate yourself from the marketplace, from other people that you're competing with for attention, and secondly, what does your patients and potential new patients believe you can do for them? And now I see some of that as I scroll down through your homepage, but I'm not seeing it in a way that really connects to your audience. It's interesting that this is the first slide that always comes up for me. The second slide actually tells me more about what you guys do, that you can relieve my joint pain. Chiropractic care is another issue. Here it'd be much more interesting, rather than maybe leading with integrated medicine, lead with the fact that you guys um, you find what the core, oops, that went away. You find what the core causes of people's pain are. Here we go. And help them find non-surgical alternatives. So to healing. That would be a major thing. That's something that people would be looking for, and it's a way you could connect with your audience. Now, before I could recommend the actual headline, we'd want to go through a discovery process and understand what your core business goals are. But just to give you an idea that, yep, if people are looking for integrated medicine, but what about all those people that need integrative medicine and are looking for someone like you? The next thing I'd say about this text, just in the slideshow in general, you can see it's already kind of causing me issues. But notice some of this text isn't easy to read. So another thing to consider is what's the contrast between your text and whatever is behind the text. I'm going to keep scrolling down here because there's a number of things I want to cover. So as I get down here, the first time I come down here, this circle goes around and the number comes up to 100. I get what you're trying to say with this graphic. I don't really know how it really adds benefit to me as a potential patient. And also, you've already told me up here that where you're located, you're located in Kansas City in the greater Charlotte area, but then you're telling me here and you're telling me here, and some of this text here. Oh, interesting. Is that a graphic? Oh, no, okay. Some of this text here is saying the same things you were saying up here. When you start repeating yourself, people are going to lose interest and want to leave their site. So there's another thing to consider. Another place where you guys should have phone numbers that are tappable. Again, I know I'm moving quickly. I apologize. Um, when we get down to this section, the layout of this and the structure of it's a little bit confusing in a sense. Not, confusing isn't the right word. It's more that it's a little overwhelming. So it's lovely that you're listing what you guys treat. I think that's ideal. I would do it though I mean, you have this big white section on the right-hand side. Why not have this in 3 columns with an icon that goes with each of the options and a button? I wouldn't know unless I accidentally moused over disc pain or peripheral neuropathy. I wouldn't know that I'm supposed to click here. So having a button underneath the text would really help users know that they can get more information. And then along with that is shortening some of this text a little bit. Let people have the title and maybe a sentence, maybe 2 at the most, and let them click through to read more. They know whether they need help with their spine or whether um, they have neuropathy. They know those things already. And so let them click through and decide themselves to read further rather than having to get through all this text just to get down to hormone replacement therapy. And again, having these in columns would be much easier to use. Um, let's see, as we move down here. So this doesn't really have much value. It doesn't look like a headline. You've already talked about knee and joint pain. You've covered some of these things up here. This blue box either should go away or it should be some other call to action or some other benefit. Maybe some testimonials. You guys got a great deal of awesome video testimonials. Maybe this is a place for testimonials on your homepage where people can get some social proof of what you can actually do. As I said, I really like if you're going to offer 30-minute consult, really great that you have that here. This section also concerns me a little bit. There's just a lot here. Probably don't need this. You could have, the about section. You probably could have turned this into 3 columns and stretched out your contact and hours. I also would have linked your contact information with each of the clinics and put all that information together. Again, so it'd be easier for people to look through. Again, with phone numbers, I guess by area code, we'd know which office location. But again, a little confusing for people. Maybe put the phone number with the location, even if it's repeated. This video is almost a waste. You can see, play this for yourself on your own computer. You can see that when you play it, it's so tiny that I'm not going to get any value from it, and yet it's a really nice video. It was fairly well done, and it has a lot of really good information. So maybe that video jumps up here. Maybe that video jumps up here with a couple of video testimonials to the left or the right. Again, using your content in a way that is going to meet your audience in what they want, need, and expect. In this map too, it's almost like you were forced into 4 columns and just threw these things here on the right side just to fill the space. I would expect when I see a map like that to let me interact with the map. Instead it takes me to location. Much better to just have a button or something there if you really want people to get location information. And by the way, why would I need the location information if all of that's here? So this bottom section of your site really isn't doing any good at all. It's if anything, it's probably being more confusing. And if we move to a mobile emulator, so you can see what this looks like on a mobile screen, when your slideshow is too small, a lot of stuff to scroll through and lots of content to get through there. So another thing to maybe consider is how you're utilizing content and thinking about the mobile experience. So not just the user on the desktop or their laptop or even their tablet, but what's the mobile experience look like? So I want to jump up here to a couple of more things. When I get to the About Us page, excuse me, it's very interesting. I actually really like these 3 icons with the columns, and it's really quick, simple text. The only thing I'd love to see is if I can make quick appointments, why don't I have a button here to make an appointment? Or at least a button that gives me a chance to make a phone call. Where can I go find out which insurances you take? Maybe they should be listed on the website. Maybe there should be a button here. But I love the icons. It's sort of like what I was suggesting here on this section, where maybe we use the 3 columns with an icon and a short amount of text with the title. So you actually did a good job. It's just not in the right place. Got to get rid of so you guys have some great photos of your docs and other healthcare providers on that page. So you got to ditch the stock photo here. People want to connect with you. They want to connect with the doctors that they're going to be seeing, the physicians, the chiropractors and such. So get rid of the stock image and have either a group image here or something else, because this just doesn't look like I'm really connecting with you in your practice. A lot of text here, and most of this text is about you, which is where we are, but it'd be interesting to remodel this text so that it was about your audience. Why are you guys in business, and what is it you can really do for me? So some of this stuff is good. I just maybe a little bit of a rewrite here on this page. And again, another opportunity to have a phone number that's linked, so it's tappable on the iPhone. And why is it that you're only using one phone number here? So maybe that's a core phone number. I don't know. Let's jump to services real quick. And what you see is a big drop-down menu, really overwhelming. Do people really get to see these items that are at the bottom? And so a drop-down menu this large, I get that you're trying to show all of your services. It'd be much more efficient for you to go to your services page. For some reason your website loads slow too. That's something we could talk about. Much better to have this list here. And again, maybe this list changes. Again, maybe we do 3 columns and each one's, peripheral neuropathy and fibromyalgia. Well, actually, wait a minute. This is a different list than this. That's a huge issue, actually, um, because I expect to click on this and find information about amniotic regenerative, platelet, fibromyalgia. I expect to see that stuff, and what I'm seeing is other things. Great that I can click on it and go deeper, but I'm not seeing. It's funny, I didn't notice that the first time I went through your site. Major thing to shift here is bringing this menu in alignment with what they're going to find on the services page, whatever direction you go. Seems like maybe I should have been on conditions here. So if I click on conditions again, the site's loading kind of slowly. It's that same page. Is that the same content? No, maybe it's in a different order. So again, now it looks like we have some duplicate content. To keep the video short, I'm not going to dig into that too deep. So really, conditions, services, these need to be adjusted, redeveloped in a sense, so the architecture is clearer from the user's point of view. I wanted to keep going here because I wanted to get your reviews. It looks like you guys have done a really great job doing video testimonials. It's something we recommend highly. Video is a massive game changer on the internet, um, but there's just way too many on this page. What do we have here? Yeah, I was wondering, why is it that your website wants me to download this SWF file? This SWF file is, it has to do with Flash, delivering Flash files. I should not be asked, nor should I be forced to receive a file from your website. That's a big, big red flag. So your video testimonials are excellent. I mean, we listened to 4 or 5 of them. The content's really nice. The lighting and such are pretty good on most of them. What I would do though is there's such a massive list here. Is I would reposition these. For instance, where was the one on peripheral neuropathy? So here we have Marilyn. By the way, unless Marilyn wanted her name there, it shouldn't be there. But we should go back to the page about peripheral neuropathy, which I believe is on the service page. And in this content, sorry, I would like to be moving faster here, but your slide's loading a little slowly. This is where to put her video. So it can actually be seen by people who are really interested in being treated for peripheral neuropathy. When you put testimonials, especially video testimonials, in the body of the copy that the testimonial is talking about, it has much greater value to your users than it would when it's just sitting in a big giant list, a big menu of testimonials. So give that a great consideration, is moving some of these testimonials into the content that matches what they're talking about. It creates great social proof. Last thing I want to get to is locations. You guys did a nice job on this page, actually. I like the fact that I have this menu, that I can interact with it. Maybe have some differentiation between we're around the Charlotte area and we're down here in the Kansas City area. What I don't understand is why there's not a map here for Kansas City. Even though it's only one location, it's still important for people to be able to see on a map where they can go and such. So there's more. There's a lot more I could talk about. Getting the dates off your blog posts since you guys haven't posted in a year. Making sure that the title of the person who, the author of the article is not admin. There's more and more things I could talk about here. What I want to do is save you the time because we'd love to chat with you. I think on the 20th, you wanted to potentially chat, follow up, and that's a time for you to get your questions answered. And so I'll wrap this up to save you some time. We'll chat on the 20th, and that's not technically a sales call. What that time is for you to get more questions answered, to have gone through the video, and give a chance for us to have a dialogue about the things we saw and how we could resolve those. And if from that you want to talk about working together, we can do that too. But really, this is a service that we provide to you so that you can have an idea of how you can get more from your website, how you could really get what you expect from your website, and do so in a way that really connects to both your current patients and your new patients. So again, this is Daoud Miracle. I'm with Doing Good Branding and Web Design Agency. Thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to talking to you in a few days. Thanks.